Carol Weatherall and Darren Holmes train here in Rugby in an ideal setup for greyhounds.
We've been able to put a sand gallop on that's about 150, 200 yards, so that comes in really useful. We've got a swimming pool that we can use in the summer, that's emptied at the moment, ready for the winter and cleaned out. And we've also got a walking machine, so we can do 2 dogs at once on the walker, and plenty of nice lanes around the place that we can take them out road walking, so ideal, yeah.
And you and Darren are quite a team. You work really well together, don't you?
I think so, yeah. Darren's very good at treating dogs looking for injuries and manipulating them. I like sort of the psychological side of it, pairing up the dogs as kennel mates, just, matching the personalities. And Natalie and I, we do most of the putting them on the walk and that during the day, and then Darren does the racing at night usually. So yeah.
You mentioned Natalie. She's certainly a big part of things here, isn't she, your daughter?
Oh yeah, definitely. She works full time with us as well, and it's really good actually. The 3 of us, yeah, it just seems to work so well, and she's very good with the dogs, very animal orientated. So yeah.
Well, Darren, let's go back to Holdem Spy, because I think it is fair to say that he is the dog that sort of put you and Carol on the map. Really, do you think that's fair?
Yeah, it's the first sort of really big competition dog we had. Obviously, winning the Scottish Derby, and I think he won the thing at Nottingham, the Select. He was the best one at the time. Yeah.
You send a dog like that to stud, and you never really know what's going to happen. So, how pleasing has it been that you've now got dogs in your kennel, his offspring, who are, or certainly in Ranger's case, just as talented as his dad?
Yeah, it's good. When you send a dog to stud, you sort of have to prove them yourself. So you end up sending bitches or people who have got bitches to send to them, and it's been slow, but there again the offspring have been okay, so it's not too diluted.
Is Calico Ranger the best dog in your kennel at the moment?
I would think so, yeah. I mean, he's there's not much between him and his 2 brothers, but I mean he probably would be a little bit better than them.
He certainly flew onto our radar Derby final night. That run was special, and it must have been a special night for you and Carol.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was a good race. I mean, there were 5 good juveniles against him and that, and he did it well. I mean, everything just dropped, as we thought it would. Like we thought we'd go round last. He'd cut in at the first 2 bends, and third bend he did it right, went inside, and and come up the straight well.
And here comes Calico Ranger around the outside. Calico Ranger wins going away.
How exciting was that race Derby final night with Calico Ranger?
Oh yeah, it still gives me goosebumps now watching it. Yeah, it was special. We were up on the grandstand watching it, and obviously he did his usual thing. He didn't ping out very quickly, but yeah, as he came round and took it up off the 4th bend, there was just a massive roar went up all round us, and so there were obviously other people that were willing him on to win, and yeah, it was so special. Yeah.
His style of running is just breathtaking, the way that he gives so much ground away and picks up the best dogs in the business on occasion. Does it get your heart racing?
Breathtaking for the viewers and maybe you, but not for us. I'd sooner see him ping out and lead all the way. But no, I mean, look, he is what he is, and there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, we know he's going to break slowly and most of the time, and so that's what he is.
Both he and Calico Blackjack went out in 3rd place, just didn't make the final of the Olympic. Was it a bit of a disappointing end to the year for you, that?
Yeah, because I thought they'd have a good chance, but I mean, with the weather and salt on the track, I think that scuppered our chances a little bit, but look, they ran well, and I was pleased.
His brother Calico Blackjack is a bit more lively, perhaps even a bit more of a full-on character, I suppose.
Oh yeah, he's a nightmare. He's just full of himself, and every time you go in the kennel with a lead, he thinks it's for him, and he thinks he's the only dog in there.
And both he and Ranger like to have a bit of a chat, particularly with your daughter, don't they?
Yeah, they're very vocal. Hollering away all day.
How good do you think Blackjack can be in 2018?
He's certainly going to be a good competition dog. Whether he can win one or not, it depends on the luck. I mean, he got to a good final in Shelbourne last year, final of the Eclipse. We were a little bit unlucky in there. They took each other out, but we're just see what happens.
You've then got Calico Brandy, who completes the trio that gave you a fantastic night at Nottingham in the heats of the Eclipse, where all three were winners.
Yeah, he's come along well. He keeps hitting the deck at Hove, so I doubt we'll be going back there with him at the minute. But they'll all be off now for a bit, so we'll play it by ear and see where they're going to go.
And you say see where they're going to go. You're kind of considering a couple of options at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, we either sort of leave them here and do Shorefield and maybe Toaster, or they go to Ireland and maybe stay there. I'm not really sure yet. Blackjack and Ranger both being wide runners is a nightmare. And then we had the scenario in the Sussex Cup where Brandy got knocked over and took Ranger out. So, they've not been lucky when they run together.
You've also got here Holdem Suzanne, who you've flagged up as being one that you think is one to watch next year. And what do you think of his future?
I think moving him up to Four Bends should be the making of him. He's not very big, but he's got a big heart.
He's an interesting looking dog, certainly very different from the Holdem Spy dogs that you've got here.
Yeah, he's very not small, but he's squat, and the mother tends to throw him like that, Calico Tiny. We've had a couple of fairly useful dogs. Holdem Chico was out the same mother. Holdem Bernardo and that. So she throws a similar stamp to herself.
And another one we should mention here is Calico Tiny, who is, of course, the sister to Ranger Blackjack and Brandy. She actually beat him up at Shorefield earlier last year, didn't she?
Yeah, she
beat Ranger, I should say.
Yeah, she got in his way. Yeah, another one. Yeah, I think he thinks, oh, my brother or my sister in there, I'll just let them go through. Don't know. No. Look, hopefully she's coming back out of season, and I think we'll try and step her up. We did last year, it didn't quite work, but she's had a good rest, so we'll see. She'll be back. I think she's back trialling next week.
We've seen Mum here today, won't fall behind. She's definitely done you proud, and there's certainly plans to breed from her again. Yeah,
she's got a litter of crashes now that are, I think, 6 months old, and we're just waiting for her to come back in season now, and we'll probably go back to Spy, I think. Repeat mating, but everybody says not to, but I think we'd have to,
And looking forward to the year ahead, how important is it to you to get a competition under your belt? Because you don't want Calico Ranger particularly to be one of those dogs that is so good and never wins anything. Is it important to you to get something under your belt now?
Yes, I think so, because it does seem that there's a few people think that he's not that good, and he is good. He's just not really getting in his break, and if he could just get one or two good competitions, I think that would be the making of him. And also people might then start considering using Holdem Spy. I mean, he's had quite a few bitches over there at the moment, but I think that would up his profile a bit if Ranger could do that, and it just seems like it's a good dog gone to waste if he can't do it at some point.
So your one New Year's wish?
Ranger to win a good competition and the rest to follow on in their own time.